She's lying in bed. She might join in. I do not know. She wants a day to herself. Post is sick. And we have Bon Cat and Blue Rose. We have Grim Monolith and Dark Titan Enterprise down link below.
Hello, everyone.
And after this, we'll play some Minecraft. It'll be the last of the only on the weekend, you guys. Friday, Saturday, Sunday for Minecraft. Just letting you know. So I don't think there's like much topic to talk about. We pretty much talked majority about that yesterday. And happy Father's Day.
Yes.
I'm the father of 4 cats. Grim is the father of 2 cats.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
So how you doing, Lance? What have you been up to?
I've been grinding on Final Fantasy 9. I'm towards the end. I'm actually towards the end. I'm just grinding all. I'll try to get all the AP to get all individual ability points for each equipment. Not on Sunday night, Sunday podcast. Sorry, Boncat. Hey, Frank. How about you?
That's cool. I mean, Final Fantasy IX is a great game. I think totally underappreciated as far as the Final Fantasies go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't talk about it, but to be honest, to me, it's like I love Final Fantasy VII, but I feel like Final Fantasy IX is more of a traditional JRPG, which is definitely one of the reasons why I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And the grindiness of it doesn't bother me simply because, that's what JRPGs are about.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great game overall.
With 9, you don't have to be high enough level. You can just be level 40 and beat the game. Because I'm towards the end, I'm like level 40. I'm just getting all the abilities on the thing. Like Final Fantasy 7, you have to be like level like 60, 70 to go against Sephiroth. I said no, Boncat. Only not on Sundays. And Frank, what is the best place to grind on Final Fantasy 9? Sunday.
I don't remember the game.
Huh?
I don't remember the. I don't remember the specific places in Final Fantasy IX to grind, but it was fun. I didn't mind. Again, I didn't mind the grinding in Final Fantasy IX. I liked going back to the fantasy setting where 7 and 8 were a future based setting, of course. So I thought that was, again, to me, it's an underappreciated Final Fantasy. I'm glad you're playing it.
I beat it before. I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan. Just doing it to record everything, put on the Let's Play. After this, I'm gonna beat 15 again. I'm already started a new plus on the 15 a while ago.
So besides Final Fantasy 9, what else have you been up to? What games have you been playing besides that? Oh, and another thing I wanted to ask is, what have you been doing for vlogs lately?
Nothing actually because of the E3. This whole week was E3 reviews, opinion base, and also I've been reviewing I just review the Fallout 76. This week is gonna be a review for the Ultimate Game Pass with Xbox. The collection of mana. I don't think it's worth $40. The physical edition's coming out soon anyway, so
Yeah,
if I knew about that, I will buy the physical edition over the digital.
I'll chime in a little on that, and I'd pay $40 for a physical edition for it. I wouldn't pay $40 for a digital. In my opinion, the digital version of that game should be $20.
Yeah.
And a physical edition should be maybe $35. What's the name of that game that's coming out in a couple days? The spiritual successor to Castlevania. What's it called again? Bloodstain? Is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know. They're doing a remastered version of it.
Well, it's a new game. It's a brand new game. It's called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Um, yeah, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night,
Mm-hmm.
and there will be. It was done by Koji Igarashi, and he's one of the people that were behind, the development of the original Konami Castlevania games.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is really excited about this game. I believe it's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not on the Switch as it does the other systems. I always go for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way I go because I really appreciate what Nintendo's done with the
Mm.
Switch.
Hey,
But
hey, Carl. Ashley's in bed watching SpongeBob. Let's see here. You go to that, Frank, and hi, Mind Flare.
yeah, hey guys, how's it going, everyone? So Bloodstained, wow. I think it's going to be. I'm hoping that's going to be a great game. I think review copies already went out, and we should see it. Yeah, in 2 days, June 18th, 2019, and it's using the Unreal Engine 4, which is awesome. And like I said, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows. It's releasing on all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And best part, it's only going to be $35 for the physical copy. I think that is also awesome. It's
Uh-huh.
only going to be $35 for the physical copy. I'm going to wait for the reviews and see the overall reviews for it, and hopefully, if I can save up some money. But this one's coming out now. It's on Unreal Engine 4. It's not an Epic Game exclusive for Windows, just so you know. But I'd
Mm-hmm.
go Nintendo Switch route for it. Um, I can't wait to pick this up. If any of you out there are Castlevania fans, this will be the true success of Castlevania. No, it doesn't continue the Castlevania story, but all of the game mechanics, the way the story is structured, everything. It's going to be all Castlevania all day long. Can't wait.
Well, I got the collection for the Castlevania.
Yeah, the collection of Castlevania, I don't think was worth 20. I don't even think that was worth $20. To me, that's a $10 collection. They basically gave you some black and white Game Boy games. Kid Dracula, which is an unreleased game, which isn't that good. I think out of the 8 games that were on that, most of them weren't great. The Genesis Blood, I don't think so. I think maybe if they just knocked it down $5 and made the collection $15, I'd probably be I'd probably be a little happier with it. But
Mm-hmm.
the $20 price mark, I don't think the games were there. And people argue, well, that means it was only $2 a game. But it was $2 a game for some of the games that I think should have essentially been free.
Mm-hmm.
I know when you're Konami, you don't want to give anything away for free. I understand how business works. But come on, you have to consider the quality uh, and how relevant the product is that you're offering. And I don't believe that I believe that a bunch of the games offered on that were no longer relevant. So therefore, to me, they have no monetary value, and I shouldn't have been charged for them.
Hmm. That's fine, I guess. You know, when the Wii shop came up, they got the majority of the classic Nintendo games on the system. But other than that,
What came up in the Wii shop?
on the original the classic Nintendo NES, Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, N64 games, stuff like that.
Right. I know. I know a lot of great stuff is coming up on the eShop, but you know what?
Not
There's a
not the
lot of
eShop. I mean the Wii shop.
is so how much functionality is left in the Wii shop right now? And I'm only asking because I know that a lot of it they've kind of gimped it.
You have to
They've
be
shut down some of it.
you have to be on the Wii U shop. It's fine. But
Yep.
if you have the original Wii, it's shut down. The Wii U is fine. So far.
I wonder how long the Wii U eShop has left in it. How
Probably,
long will Nintendo?
probably when Mario Maker 2 comes out, they're probably gonna close it probably a year later because people are still using it due to the Mario Maker 1.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mario Maker.
After 2,
I know.
huh?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
After 2 comes out, I think a year later they're gonna close it down. PS3 is gonna be closed down soon too. When the new console comes out a year or two later, they're gonna close down the thing for the PlayStation 3 and so forth because it costs money to open the server. No one's gonna buy anything on it.
True. When you get to a certain amount of time out from when the console's life kind of ended, you get to the point where there's not enough customers to support that platform or that store, and I know it's sad when we need to move on from something that some of us treasure, but eventually these online stores have to come to an end, which is why I can't wait for the next console generation. And what I mean by that is that the next console generation will bring about the end of separating console generations from themselves.
Not really. Do you know why?
Yes, it will.
Do you know
I
why?
have,
No,
I
no,
have,
no.
I have read the plans for the stores,
You,
and Microsoft. All right, go ahead. Tell us what you were saying, and I'll tell you
do you
stuff
know
that I
why?
know.
You know why we're gonna get in the new console generation?
Well,
A shitload of remasters and remake.
so I mean, hell, man, we're getting those now, right?
Yeah, we're
We're
getting a crap load.
getting a crap load, and for people who never played those games, to make them more relevant and easier to play in modern day, I don't think is a bad thing. But yes, some people see it as a money grab, where the companies, instead of creating new IPs or continuing on with IPs, they're just going back and bringing back and recycling older games. Um, so that's a thing. But I'm just saying that look how Steam and GOG work, right? There's no canceling of a generation. When I go on Steam and I go on GOG, and by the way, I'm a GOG fan. I love my GOG. I'm buying games that go back to the 1970s that my computer has no problem running.
Yeah.
I want to see this happen to consoles. I don't want to see a Wii shop, a Wii U shop, a Switch shop, a PS3 shop, a PS4 shop, a PS5 shop. That's got to end, and that's going to end. Xbox Scarlet and PS5 will not have new shops. Xbox Live will use the same eShop that Xbox that Xbox One used. So Xbox Scarlet, when you log into your account on Scarlet, everything that you had on Xbox One, boom, it's going to be there. When you log on to PS5, everything that you had on PS4, boom, it's going to be there. And the reason is they've gone away from using proprietary chips, proprietary APUs on the console systems, and now it's like a computer where everything now just uses x86 architecture and is all compatible with each other. And this is the direction they should have went to, starting with the 7th gen consoles. It shouldn't have taken to the 8th and the 9th gen consoles to do it. It should have been done back at the 7th gen consoles with the PS3 and the Xbox 360. But they decided to go with that proprietary IBM cell processor back on those machines, be it what it may. But now we're going to finally get what we should have gotten all along.
Yeah, a week ago I update 300 odd games on the PS3. I'm gonna buy the brand new PS3 top loader and put like a 1 or 2 terabytes in there and transfer all my PS3 games and downloadable stuff on it, and just it'll be a lot easier. Because I don't know how long my PS3 backwards compatible is gonna last.
I suggest not. If you're gonna replace the hard drive, this is my suggestion: get the Generation 2 PS3, not the Gen 3 top loader.
Why?
The Generation 3, I actually have both. And if you're replacing the hard drive, you can replace the hard drive in either of them. The Gen 3, it's harder to put on a TV stand because it doesn't take the discs in manually. You have to pop them in and pop them out.
That's fine.
Yeah. But its compatibility with PS1 games is awful.
No, I just need a PS3 just for PS3. I have a PS2 and a PS1. So
I know the form factor on that Generation 3 PS3 is the smallest. I think the aesthetics and the size of the Generation 2, I think it's just fine. In my opinion, I like the Generation 2 version of it. Now, keep in mind that currently the PS3 that I have in my gaming room is a 500 gigabyte Gen 3 top loader, but I do have my original Gen 2 front loader.
I need more than 500 gig. My backwards compatible, I put 500 gigs in there. I need at least about 1,000 or more. Oh, wait, 1,000 gigs, 1 terabyte or more.
I also have a backwards compatible one that I got to open up and do a couple things to.
Yeah, I have backwards compatible one. I have also another backwards compatible one. That's basically my parts replacement for it. But I need just a PS3 that can hold more than 1 terabyte or more, because I know that before the new gen system comes out, I need to buy more PS3 games before they stop updating and supporting a lot of these games. So that's why I am going to try and get all this thing done before they kill off the PS3 entirely online, because I know it's going to happen. So yeah, it's going to happen sooner or later.
What about doing the same thing to an Xbox 360?
Majority of the game is already backwards compatible with the Xbox One.
I was going to make the same point, that Microsoft is making moves so that the 360 games will be playable in the further generations.
If PlayStation was smart, they'll make the PS5 backwards compatible with 3. They can do it. It's got to make an emulating software for it. That's all.
Just as Microsoft did on the Xbox One for the 360 and the original Xbox games itself. And yeah, I mean, sure, right? Sony could easily do that, but they don't want to.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows?
I know Sony, what did they say? No one wants to play old games. And then they came out with the Classic, which flopped.
Well, they screwed up the Classic. They, what was it, At Games who made it?
No, Sony made it themselves.
Yeah, it was a really bad port and everything. And it's right there behind me, just for you. Oh, Ashley came on.
One day, you will open that PS Classic on stream, and you will let everyone know. Hey, another interesting kind of topic is, I don't know how much we talked about this in the past, but why is everyone so angry about the new Pokemon games?
Huh?
Because over animations.
The people not mad about the animation. They're mad about you can't catch them all. That's what they're mad about, because they, like when the 3DS came out, they had the Pokebake and the Poketransfer.
Yeah, they did. Yep, I do remember.
They're moving it to the Switch, but you cannot only Pokemon you can transfer it to the newer Pokemon is whatever Pokemon that's already in that region. That is it. So you cannot transfer 800 some odd Pokemon that you caught, how many long hours or trade in stuff like that. Because I have all the Pokemon so far.
I know why.
Because they want you to grind it out, right, Ashley?
It's not that. It's that with the new Pokemon games, like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, and then the new one coming out, they're at a higher graphical level than the older games, so it will take longer to make each individual Pokemon. And they don't want to do that because it will take way too long, and they could not be able to come out this year.
So, Lance, that's what I just said. So, what everyone is angry about is the animations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Ashley just mentioned. People think there's actually a petition that was going around where people were signing it saying, hold back the game to actually do all of the animations for all of the Pokemon.
To tell you the truth, I don't really. How many petition actually gone through and the company changed it? Out of how many petition?
I'm sure very few.
Out of how many petitions got denied?
I'm sure the petition won't do anything.
No, I just don't understand. It's good to hear people complain, but they already got the date for it and everything else. They might have a update patch or a DLC patch like they always do in these Pokemon games, add more stuff in later on down the road. It's just every this is a game that everyone wants. It sucks you can't catch everything so far, but probably later on they'll
think they just want you to experience the new Pokemon. That's it. They want you to. They're sure they're gonna have some old ones, but they want you to experience that region.
Yeah, it's to me it's
you
fine.
You don't need every single freaking 800 some Pokemon.
I have it on my 3DS.
Good for you.
Now,
I absolutely don't need 800 Pokemon.
I don't have a very strong collection of stuff. Can't speak to that. I don't have a very strong connection to a lot of the Pokemon that are not going to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I hate to say it, when and if I pick up the game, it's not going to bother me that those Pokemon aren't in it.
Yeah,
who needs a trash bag Pokemon? Seriously.
The point of the game is to catch them all. That's what they're all mad about. But the problem is that
meaning gotta catch them all.
Yeah, I guarantee you once it's out, right, 6 months to a year, they'll put a big patch up on it to get more of your Pokemon out. To me, that's a lot better because what's coming up pretty much next year that we've been hearing from the Business Insider and so forth. A newer Switch is coming, so basically they need to sell a lot of the older Switch that's out right now before the newer revised Switch comes out.
So, if you want to move on to that topic, it's still just rumor and conjecture about the Switch.
I think it's going to happen.
Well, you'd have to show me the proof.
No.
So Nintendo, hear me out, because I don't know how much current events you follow, and there's a problem going on with tariffs, and we've talked about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the rumor is based upon the Wall Street Journal, who, by the way, keeps pumping these rumors out with very little proof to substantiate the rumor, other than one guy in a warehouse that calls Wall Street Journal and says, hey, guess what, guys? I got something to say.
Yeah.
Nintendo is moving a lot of their manufacturing out of China.
Yeah.
As are other companies.
Mm.
They're actually moving it to other Asian countries such as Vietnam. They're moving manufacturing back to Taiwan, where there are no tariffs on Taiwan. There are no tariffs on Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing this not, and a lot of people are trying to say that they're doing this because they're ramping up production in
No,
these
they're doing this so they don't have to pay, so that we don't, so that
Right.
they won't charge us 25%. I think it's like 25% now in China.
Not yet,
But soon it's going to be.
It could get to that. So, and that would be awful. But Nintendo and a lot of other manufacturers are making these strategic moves to get out of the tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an indicator that they're producing another Switch. It's a stretch for the Wall Street Journal to make a connection between Nintendo's moving manufacturing so that they can produce another Switch.
No,
And
but
that's kind of like what they're saying.
But I do think there will be a Switch Mini though.
I think there's going to be another Switch.
Because
They're
the
going to
3DS
have to come
is
out
dead.
with something to compete with the new systems.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. Actually, I think Lance is more. I think Lance has a good idea what's going on. They need you know what they need more than a Switch Pro? They need a 3DS, 2DS replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how much the 2DS and the 3DS sold.
A lot.
So, oh my God, yeah, a lot. Tons
Instead of holding a bulky, a pad, something smaller. That because being Ash been in the Japanese trade, you sometimes you can be in like a sardine can and stuff like that.
Absolutely, and we all know how big the gaming
no one's carrying a Switch on the train. I can tell you that one. They all have their phones.
Well, I know, but we see people with 3DS and a whole bunch of stuff, so they need something to replace it.
That's small, but no one's going to be carrying their Switch.
Yeah, that's why I said a mini Switch will be actually a very good idea.
So what Nintendo needs desperately, and I'm sure they've been working on it as Lance has been saying, is they need a replacement for the 3DS and the 2DS. And what's that replacement going to be? The Switch Mini.
I think the 2DS is a piece of crap system.
Yeah, I never picked one up. I have a 3DS XL and a new 3DS.
We have a 2DS and a 3DS and a new 3DS. But the 2DS is just to me it's just look like a piece of blue bread. They just throw it across like a hockey puck.
It looked like a Japanese loaf of bread. Remember the loaf of bread we used to get there?
Oh yeah, we did.
Well, there were two different versions of the 2DS.
There's a new 2DS and there's a regular 2DS.
There's the new 2DS, which is a flip system that looks a lot like the new 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm just saying that, like, I totally agree with Lance here that I don't think that they're really looking or worrying about a Switch Pro. I think that what they're worried about, and rightfully so because it brought them in so much money, is replacing the 3DS, 2DS. Mm-hmm. And that replacement would most definitely be the Switch Mini. And I think that's on the horizon. We're going to see it. I bet you soon they announce a mini 3DS.
Mm-hmm. And Grim's going to go buy The Witcher 3 complete on the Switch.
Can that even play on the Switch?
They did do it. They did do it.
It's like playing Doom or Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch.
Oh, yeah,
it's just very down graphically.
And they use that resolution scaling system.
I'm not getting it.
Well, I have The Witcher 3 complete on my PS4, and I have it on GOG because they had it on sale for $10.
I have it on Steam.
And it's the complete Witcher.
Yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm not really a big Witchers fan.
Never played Witcher.
I played 1, a little bit of 2, a little bit of 3, but I wasn't really big on Witcher.
Those first 2 games are nowhere near the quality of Witcher 3.
Yeah, of course, it's newer.
But Witcher 3 is almost essentially, I hate this, I don't like to give things this level praise, but as far as a Western RPG goes with a story, I know you haven't played it, but it's close to a masterpiece.
Yeah, I already beat 1. I already played a little bit of 2 and 3.
An awful game. 1 was an awful game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of The Witcher. I just bought it when it was on sale, but not really a big fan.
To get what's happening in 3.
No, you don't have to. They're all.
You can totally play 3 without playing any of the others.
Yeah.
Because they give you flashbacks that give you all the previous story that you would need to know. So they did make sure that people could just go play Witcher 3 without having to ever touch the other 2. Because they, like I said, playing number 1 is painful, and number 2 is only okay.
And I cannot stream The Witcher because there's a lot of certain nudities in it, and I had to basically play it, just record it playing off stream. And I gotta edit some stuff as well. But yeah, Carl says he's lazy to play Witcher right now.
Oh, Carl, give the game a try. It's awesome. If you love RPGs, it is definitely a treat. It's definitely worth it, and you should get the complete edition because the DLC for it is also really well written.
It's fine. I'll probably play Witcher once I'm done with playing every single Final Fantasy. It'll be a while. I think I be a better card, honestly. Maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, after I see here. Yeah, I'm gonna try and play every single Final Fantasy, record every single one, and I'm gonna get the Final Fantasy 8 remaster. I'll be playing that.
Did you not do Final Fantasy 8 yet?
I did.
Because you're on 9 right now.
And I actually was playing 8 on the PlayStation TV. I already beat 7 through. Alright, I beat 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-2, 13, 13-2. I did not really. I played a little bit of Lightning to Turn. Never really finished it. I played 15. I played a little bit of 14. I played Final Fantasy Tactics. I dabbled between 1 through 6. I played Tactics Advance. I played Crystal Chronicles. Played Chocobo's Dungeon.
Are you excited at all for the Crystal Chronicles remake?
Not really. It's more of a multiplayer style game.
True. And you know what else? The game looks suspiciously like the Secret of Mana remake.
It's
as far as the engine goes.
Yeah. It probably is. It's a GameCube game. I played it, and you really need an extra player or two to actually play the game really well. If you just play it by yourself, it's gonna be very difficult.
Crystal Chronicles, was not, and I've always been a fan of Final Fantasy, even back when I was slugging through all the Dungeons and Dragons video games. I always liked my Final Fantasy, but Crystal Chronicles was never one that caught my eye.
I got it because one of my friends got it. This was like back in high school. I'll see, middle school or high school. One of those. Walk over to my friend's house and play with like a whole bunch of people. But yeah,
Final Fantasy is great. So one of the other topics that was kind of something that was talked about last week was, and not talking about specific streaming services. We don't need to have a whole nother discussion on Stadia itself, and Ubisoft. It's just the fact that the streaming wars in general, and not just video games, but movies too, it's getting out of hand. There's just too many streaming services.
Don't
Being
worry.
like Disney's coming out with their own.
Yeah, and let's kind of focus first in on the video game ones. I mean, you have so many things you have to pay for. You have to pay for Nintendo Online. You have to pay for PSN. You have to pay for PSN Now.
Think about this. Okay, think about back in the day when we had video and video game rentals. There were when there were.
Keep in mind, there are still rentals.
I'm just saying.
Redbox rents games.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying back then, before Redbox, GameFly ever came in.
You mean like Blockbuster?
Before Blockbuster was mom and pop stores. Basically, renting out games and movies. Then Blockbuster came by, Hollywood Video came by, and they all compete for it, right? The bigger, the better quality, the better service it does, will win the rental for videos and games. And there was like only like 2 to 3 major ones, and that was it that you always go to. It's gonna be the same. It'll be the same thing with these streaming services.
So here's a fundamental difference. I think a fundamental difference between the example you're using and what's going on today. All of those rental stores, they all have the ability to access all the same games.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to rent Ghouls and Ghosts on Sega Genesis, and
not all of them have it.
I disagree. And I could go, and I had Rental Place 1, Rental Place 2, Rental Place 3. All three, because it's a major release, all three of those rental places would have it. So I was basically choosing, do I go to 1, 2, or 3 to get it?
And so probably in your location.
I had choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had Blockbuster, I had Videoscope. These were all nationwide chains. I had West Coast Video, was even here. And remember, West Coast Video is from California, so you should remember West Coast Video.
I think they weren't that much in California. I think it was like 1 or 2 in the whole of California when I was.
They might have been going out of business. They might have West Coast Video might have been going out of business when you were a kid, because remember when you were like in your when you were a teenager, that's when these rental places started failing. So you might not remember, but West Coast Video was all over California, and they were all over New England. Anyway, regardless of the name of the store, they all had the ability to buy and rent the same games. That's not what's happening today, unfortunately.
No,
that's why people are so upset about Epic Game exclusivity. Okay, these streaming services are making it so you can only get a show or a game on their one service. So to be able to get all of the content you want, let's say you want content from several different developers, you literally have to subscribe to all of the different streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
Back when we had video rental stores, every single rental store had the ability to carry all of the content. We're not getting that out of the streaming services.
Well, that is true, but I'm just saying, and I'm not saying like whatever your game you can rent, because by California, certain stores have certain things. They didn't have all the gaming things in where we live in LA. I'm just saying that people went bigger chain, even though let's say everyone has the same thing. In the end, there's only like a handful left that is still having that business, for a long period of time until something else replaced it. It's gonna be the same thing with these streaming services. It's basically, people's gonna be on a budget. Not everyone can have all the streaming services, so they're gonna be nitpicking which one do they want to have. I'm surprised cable TV is still alive, but who knows? It might be a lot cheaper to have cable TV than having several streaming services. Or like me, I'm only going to have Netflix and Hulu, and that is it. I don't have to pay for either one of them. I'm not going to pay no extra services for CBS or HBO's, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not getting a Disney service either, because I know they are going to be releasing their small version of DVD for that type of show and so forth. Like with Netflix, they have Stranger Things. They got Stranger Things season 1 and 2. You can buy it on Blu-ray if you really wanted it to.
We have them on Blu-ray.
Yeah, we have it on Blu-ray. It's basically people's budget. Not everyone's gonna go to Disney, because a lot of unless you have a kid. Unless you have a kid, I can see why you have get for Disney. But other than that, I don't really see Disney, as a good streaming platform.
All their movies go to DVD.
Yeah, and a lot of these, like the video game ones as well, is if Stadia is
Lance,
basically
we're going to have to get Disney because of the Loki.
no, we'll just wait till Blu-ray. I know it's gonna come out on Blu-ray.
Ashley,
Okay.
there's a person that me and Lance are associated with called the Great Librarian. He will most definitely make sure that you get Loki.
Well, the Great Librarian has a
Great Librarian. Thank you.
the Great Librarian has to give me all the emulator. It hasn't so far, and the free trial's almost over. So, the same thing with the gaming. Because Stadia has majority of the same game with what Xbox Game Pass has or some other services has. The problem is how they do it. You pay $10 or you get free for it, depending what quality of game you want. Then you gotta buy the damn game. So what's the point of you buying the damn game?
And if you want to stream the Ubisoft games, you have to pay an extra fee for Ubisoft.
Also, it's like who?
There's going to be winners and losers, right?
Yeah.
Even with these big companies, there's going to be winners and losers, and people are already calling it the streampocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay. Because all of these companies are going to just put themselves out of business. And I don't mean the company going out of business.
The streaming service.
Their streaming services will be failures.
Yeah.
Because people are going to pick and choose, and some of them are going to lose.
Yeah, let them fail. Like how many? Like out of all the Ubisoft games, I probably will play two of it out of all their library. EA Origin has their. Huh?
I have to admit, Ubisoft has quite a large library of games, so I can see why for someone it might be a value, but the majority of their games are not games that I want to revisit.
Yeah.
I would rather see their higher quality games on Game Pass.
Yeah, and it's like, a lot of these older games I already have. It's underneath the bookshelf or up on the wall that I want so far. EA Origin of streaming services. And there's like 4 games out of the whole thing I pretty much revisit and play. That's like the Dragon Age series. I have it on my PS3, the PS4, and my computer. So,
and it might be better. It might be better in the long run for some of these companies to make deals like EA did, because you can get EA Origin off Game Pass. They have a deal with Microsoft that if you have Game Pass, I don't know how much it costs, and I know it's another example of a stream. You have to get a service to get a service, but you can for a cheaper price get the EA Origin gaming service off your Game Pass.
No, but I still think it's a waste of money because EA doesn't really have any good games coming out. A Jedi Fallen Order, we don't know it's still going to be a yay or an A yet. I still kind of iffy about it because what they did with the last 2 of the Star Wars franchise with the microtransaction with a lot of their other games as well. It's one of those things that
Of course. None of us are a fan of a lot of the really insidious, and yes, I say insidious, moves that EA has made to over monetize all of their products.
And it's one of those things is I'm not paying for it. If you also think about it too, it's like how many times if you're buying a streaming service, right? And you play that 1 or 2 games, and how many times you can play it, and how long are you going to play it? Let's say it's $15, right? And you buy a AAA game, and you play that game for about, let's say, 6 months, right? It adds up. So that's what, $30, $60, $90 right there you paid in just to play that one AAA game. You could just buy the physical copy for $60, save yourself $30. It's like a lot of these companies don't have like several AAA games that are, I must have. No, not really. They're not like Square Enix. They release a lot of games or platinum games. They bring out a lot of very high quality games that's really fun. Really long. It's you really want. They just basically you should just buy it. because they're not dumb enough to stream it because it's the value of it is not there. Plus, when you stream it, you don't own it. Just buy the digital copy of it from your store, download it onto your console, or buy the physical copy of it. That's all I would do. And plus,
Fair enough.
and plus, a lot of the other companies like Canada, a lot of the countries like Canada, European nations as well, they have data gaps as well. How much internet are they going to suck up? I know that Australia had a huge problem with FIFA, I think a couple years ago, because of data gap on it, and people are getting pissed and getting overcharged on their internet data gap because of that, because the download they require was massive. It's one of those things. Just buy the physical copy. Just buy it.
Very, very true. Very true. The physical copy doesn't mean you don't have to download a couple stuff, but doesn't mean you don't have to download a bunch of stuff. But you do have to download patches and updates and things that are pretty big in and of themselves. So that is a problem. Even if you have a physical copy, you still are going to need to download a bunch of stuff, unfortunately.
And streaming will suck a lot more bandwidth. A lot more, because you constantly have to stream it. Hours upon hours. And
we'll see what happens in the future with the G5 networks being set up. Hopefully that will...
No, so the future...
Hopefully that will rectify some of the bandwidth problems across the world.
No, the future is like Sword Art Online. You put a visor in, you go a little nighty-night sleep on the bed, and you're in the world playing.
And you never wake up. You don't wake up for 2 years. And that's what happened in Sword Art Online, good son. They didn't wake up for 2 years.
Sword Art Online just reminded me of Dot Hack. That's all it is a copy of Dot Hack.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I did enjoy the first season of Sword Art Online. I thought it was pretty good.
Once you see Dot Hack and play it, you've seen it all.
One could argue that all of our literature, all of our stories, are only retellings of Shakespeare, who himself most likely copied his stories from someone else as well.
Yep.
So I a little more of a decisive issue that I'd like to bring up and talk about, kind of like at the end here. How do you both feel about the zombie unicorn situation?
What zombie unicorn situation?
The situation that's been blowing up over the last couple of days about what zombie unicorn, aka Miss Bully Hunter, aka Miss I'm going to body paint my boobs on Twitch, and her reaction to Truth Babe.
I don't know who that person is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Me neither.
Oh my god.
That means it wasn't famous enough.
It was pretty big. It was pretty big. It even made national news.
I don't really follow anyone on YouTube or Twitter.
Well, it's not.
You know.
Well, it's not following zombie unicorn. It's just following a situation that became much bigger than her. I don't even know if I can have a conversation on the situation.
What's wrong with painting boobs?
Not on Twitch. That's violation.
No, it is not a violation on Twitch. That is wrong. But I don't know. I can't even have the conversation. I'm surprised you don't know about it. It was gigantic. Every single YouTuber in the world.
Yeah, mine. It wasn't even on my feed.
Okay. If you go to YouTube and you write zombie unicorn, go to YouTube right now, right?
I'm not.
Zombie unicorn.
I'll do it after the stream.
Zombie unicorn.
I'm just saying it wasn't on my feed, so I don't know anything about it.
Zombie unicorn, the biggest hypocrite on progressive Twitter. Zombie unicorn canceled. Then I get her channel. I'm just goofing, but it's like a goldfish. Zombie unicorn. Zombie unicorn, huge hypocrite. Zombie. The unicorn zombie apocalypse.
Hey, Blue.
Well, was she painting herself as Daphne? And
it's not about her painting. It's not about her painting on Twitch. No one has a problem with her painting her boobs on Twitch. It's about something she said about E3 and something she filmed at E3. Do you know about the Dr. Disrespect?
I know about that.
Okay. This was bigger.
Okay. Dr. Disrespect is temporary banned, isn't he? Or is he fully banned now?
He's temporary banned. We don't know when he's coming back. The zombie unicorn situation is actually a very important situation to gaming culture and actually dates back and brings issues that date back all the way to Gamergate, which is why it kind of exploded. And it just shows the hypocrisy that exists in the feminist movement. Okay,
what is she doing?
It's such a huge thing that if you haven't watched videos, I think even Keemstar covered it at this point because it was that big. If you haven't watched videos and kept up with it, it's not something that I could probably fill you in on all the information. It's been all over Twitter. It's been
Just
all
tell
over
us some stuff because we're probably not going to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty important for people that are streaming to know what the hell she's doing. Yeah, I don't know.
Because is she like an SJW person? We won't probably never.
Yes, and I understand that you would have never watched her.
Uh-huh.
And she is a semi-big streamer, but it's not someone that you, Lance, would watch. But it's like I said, it exploded all over the internet. Everyone's done videos on it.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, okay.
How are we supposed to talk about if you won't tell us?
Because I watch.
Because it's such a big, broad subject that I figured you guys would have seen it.
I watch from Review Tech USA, Dark Titan. I watch RGT Spawn Wave, and Philip DeFranco. That's pretty much what I watch on YouTube.
I'm sure Philip DeFranco's probably covered.
He hasn't covered it so far yet. He covered Dr. Disrespect. That's why I knew about it.
Yeah, it took him a couple days, so maybe he's lagging a little behind. It's a Gundam has a very good video up about it.
He covered Jacqueline Hill's controversy.
Yes, that was another one.
That was huge.
That was another oopsie. You know what I'm saying?
I think she knew. I totally think she knew. She had to.
I agree. I agree.
I was interested in buying her lipsticks. I was, and then I seen what these lipsticks are. I'm like, I'm not getting diseased.
I'm gonna post a link. Just click on that link. You don't have to watch it right now, but just click on that link so you can see the title. So you can see the title. That's all. I don't mean for you to watch it now. You can watch it later. It's a long video.
Hypocrite on Progress Twitter. Okay. What's next?
I don't know. I was gonna try to end on that subject because it pertains heavily to streaming culture and the hypocritical nature of.
It's 42 minutes long.
Yeah, right, because the situation is that screwed up that she did what she did.
What did she do?
She made fun of. So she's a body painter, right?
Yeah.
You mean like it made you look and glam and gore?
Yeah, she's a zombie unicorn. Yeah, she's a video game streamer, but she's a body painter. But she went to E3, and one of the energy drink companies had dancers on the stage, they had dancers that were like promoting their drink, and
Mm-hmm.
she filmed them and put up a whole monologue on how that's disgusting and it's objectifying women and that booth babes are a thing of the past and that no one should be using sexuality to sell a product.
But she body paints on Twitch, so it is
Yes,
sexuality.
exactly. One, the people that were on, and I'm only giving you a small part of the story
No,
here.
that's all I need
Yeah,
to know.
yeah.
It's just
She-
basically stupid people.
And this is the
She's
same woman.
hypocriting herself.
This
Yeah.
is the same woman that was behind Bully Hunters. Remember Bully Hunters?
Oh yeah, I watched that shit. That was
Yeah, that
retardedest
was
thing I watched so
that
far.
was Zombie Unicorn.
She's ugly.
Yeah, that was Zombie Unicorn.
I'm sorry.
So one, the girls that were up there were not booth babes.
Uh-huh.
They were professional dancers. They were professional dancers that
Yeah.
worked for a company that hires out professional dancers for companies to promote products.
Mm-hmm.
So these are women that are trained dancers that do this for a living. Okay, so basically, one of the other things she's saying is these are girls that are doing this as a job.
Uh-huh.
So she's out there saying, fire these girls, take these girls' jobs away.
Uh-huh.
That was another big aspect of it. You know, a lot of these girls that work for these dance companies are like, are you saying that we should have jobs?
Mm-hmm.
You know, these girls are making a living doing this. And
Yeah.
she's literally saying, take the jobs away from these girls while she's on Twitch getting people to give her money to body paint her boobs. And then, of course, let's not even talk about the whole Bully Hunters. Billy Hunters.
Well, I made a video about that, how dumb it is and everything else.
So you already made a video about about.
Yeah, she's not really big. I know that basically, you know, I don't give two shits about SJWs. They're not really they're not to me. They're not really a feminist movement.
They're not for us women. They're just selfish
Right.
hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying like, hey, I'm for women's rights. Fire those women over there. They're dancing.
Yeah. SJWs to me is a joke.
They're the one who's turning back the clocks on everything.
And those hashtag Me Too movement. There are people that
yes,
there are people that actually been through that, and I you know I feel really you know bad for them, but there are other people that takes advantage of it as well.
So what you're saying, in a nutshell, is that the hashtag Me Too movement is actually damaging to women who have to actually deal with being through those situations and have to actually and it actually hurts them trying to get justice for what was done to them.
Yeah, because a lot of time when they Me Too movements and they do false charges, military, we had a lot of false charges on people getting that what happens to them, and they don't realize the consequences. You go to jail, male or female or not. You go to jail.
It's a very complicated issue, but I get what you're saying. You're saying the hashtag Me Too movement is actually damaging the chances of a woman that is not some rich woman somewhere actually getting justice.
Yeah, it's you know, in the beginning it was the right thing that people exploited for their own gain, and that's what SJW is. They exploit things.
Yeah. So and this is part of it, but the part that we're specifically talking about today is that Zombie Unicorn is actually bringing back a lot of the BS that revolved around Comicsgate back in 2014, 2015 with Nita Sarkeesian. And the worst part is the hypocritical nature of it. She's saying it's not okay for these women to have a job and make money using
But it's
their
okay for
dancing
me to
skills.
paint my boobs.
But it's okay for her to take, money. And she's got on Twitter rant saying that nothing she does is sexual on Twitter. Bull shit.
Yeah, you know what it is? I bet that she's been falling out. Like Nina Sarkeesian did for a while. She was falling out, and they need to do some kind of extreme to be back on to be relevant again. That is basically what it is. Basically, what I'm hearing. She wants to be basically relevant again, how she was, because when the Bully Hunter came out and she was a host for it, that thing went down to shit.
Well, because it was a lie.
Yeah.
And everyone there was an actor.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah, and
so
that's why relevancy is the key.
For me, for people to even still follow her and take her serious after the whole Bully Hunters fiasco, how in hell were there even people watching her stream and giving her a platform after all that she's done? I don't understand. What do we do to survive? Because
ignore it and just move on.
In a lot of cases, that 80% of people are going to make it hard for people like you and I to exist, to make a living. And I hate, I'm not trying to get deeper, but I am going to get deeper. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm say in general, all of those people, they don't want people like you and me to be able to survive.
That's fine.
They only want the people that they want to survive.
That's fine.
And we're never gonna be in that group.
It's fine because I'll be dead. You and I and Ashley, we got so many years left. They'll be dead, and we just laugh at them when we die, giving them fingers like we told you so, and just move on.
Well, I don't want to die in poverty, living in a tent on the streets of LA.
Don't worry.
And these people, that's what they want to happen to us. They're dark.
No, it's not going to happen that way. It's going to be a huge riot. Then it's going to be a social, not a civil war, but a social civil war. Might be some actual confrontation and contact. Then
I have a fear that countries like Canada will fall before the United States. And when Canada, well, look at all the political turmoil that's happening in Canada right now.
Political turmoil right now.
Our political turmoil is bad, but we have. I just want to say, I'm not trying to say the United States has the greatest political system, but we have a system that's set up in such a way that there's so many divisions of government that the divisions of government can push back against other divisions of government, which in turn makes it so that things don't completely fall apart. We have the state system, then we have the division of government. That's at the federal system, and yes, the government systems that push against the other government systems can cause turmoil, but ultimately there is some sense of balance and control that's left over.
Not really, because the party.
But if you look at everything that's going on, and unfortunately, I've been following politics close. The states themselves, because they do have a level of control, have been able to successfully push back against federal implementation of laws and even executive orders. I can give you an example. Massachusetts has stood fast and strong against things that have come down from the federal government and has done it successfully. And these are things that other states can do. So states and other divisions of the federal government can weather the storm through political turmoil in the United States just because of the divisions. Countries like Canada don't have that ability. They don't have that distinct, clear division between governments all over the country. Therefore,
it'll be fine. It'll be fine because we probably won't know about it until 10, 20 years from now. And
know
also,
about
and also, let's stop talking about politics. This is not really a political talk at all either. This channel's
Well,
not.
that's why I'm not distinctly
Yeah.
pointing at a specific party or a specific
Mhm.
person. I'm talking more in line of kind of the human condition.
Mhm.
So how I'm presenting politics is actually in an apolitical manner. It's an apolitical manner.
Carl's gonna
And
disagree with you.
I don't know what he's disagreeing with me on, but that's okay.
I think you are wrong. LOL.
Well, I've been looking at it closely. My brother's
Mhm.
Canadian.
No, your
Yeah.
brother's Massachusetts.
No, he's Canadian. He's lived in Canada for 25 years.
No, he's gonna be coming back to the U.S.
Maybe later in his life, possibly, he might come back, but I don't know, to be honest.
Mhm.
I think he might live out the rest of his life in Canada. He is a Canadian citizen,
Mhm.
so I don't know. I think he's made his home. I think that is his home. I don't think he's going to come back. He comes back to visit, and he still has his U.S. citizenship and a U.S. passport, and he does actually own a house on Martha's Vineyard. So he still owns property in the United States and a house in the United States, but his primary residence is outside of Toronto. So I think that's what he'll do. He'll keep his vacation house. He'll keep his vacation house in Martha's Vineyard. Carl, you have a federal and a provincial governments, but I can tell you that the division of power between the federal and provincial governments is nowhere near the level of divisional power between the federal government and the states in the United States. Nowhere near. The provincial governments do not have as much power separated from the federal governments that the United States have. And I challenge you to go and look in civics books and see what I'm saying. The federal government in Canada can pass. Hold on, Lance. Stop trying to silence me. The federal government, in Canada has way more power over the provincial governments than the federal government in the states. I'm not going to bring up specific examples just because that would mean we're actually going into political talk and not a civics talk. I'm just trying to bring up civics in general and not specific politics. But it is true and it is a hard fact. The federal government of Canada has way more power over the provinces than the federal government of the United States having power over the states. The states in the United States have almost, I would say, 80% autonomy from the federal government, which is why some people argue the laws in the United States are so mishmashed because the states have widely different laws from each other. That's the way the country was set up. That's not the way Canada was set up. It's not. I studied civics. I even know how Mexico is set up, but I'm not going to get into Mexico because it doesn't really pertain to this conversation.
Can we move on? Lance is getting irritated.
Well, Lance can get irritated, but sure, we can move on.
No more political talk after this.
That's not politics, Lance. It's civics.
No more of these kind of talks. We talk about gaming and other things. This is what this podcast is basically about. We don't really go into other governmental sources, stuff like that, unless it's trading to gaming.
Let's call it what it has to do with gaming, because I'm talking about freedom of speech laws and censorship laws. So that does directly pertain to gaming.
But we did not start out with
censorship it's civics, not politics.
You did not.
Because I hate politics. I will never talk about politics.
You did not specify this is going to be for in the beginning. That is pertaining to freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And so while you just jumped into
it all comes down. Well, that's the only reason why I bring it up. It all comes down to the civics behind freedom of speech. So if you want to move on to another gaming topic, go ahead.
Yeah.
Bring one up. Shoot.
Steve. Next one I think we actually talk about is really the Ultimate Game Pass. I think we did not get much into it as last time.
I think talking about the Ultimate Game Pass, we need to look at the Ultimate Game Pass kind of like
Because more games are coming in, but the
Yeah,
problem
more
is
games are coming in. But let's compare it. Let's do a little comparison between Ultimate Game Pass and the streaming services like Stadia. What would
we're
what would you rather have?
I'd rather just get the bundle deal than paying $10 and buying a game on top of that. I just pay $15 and I get a game, comes with games, and I add more games in later on. AAA games coming out. Gears of War 5 is going to take what's the first day release on the Game Pass.
I have a concern, and I hope it doesn't kind of come to fruition with Game Pass. With all of the companies that are coming out with their own streaming service, does that mean that they're not going to want to put games on Game Pass? Does that mean, and I haven't really heard many people talking about this, this is just something that I was kind of talking about and thinking about. Does this mean that Microsoft to get third-party games on Game Pass, because we have all of these companies like Ubisoft and EA, and EA does put games on Game Pass, by the way, but I don't know how old the game has to be to get on it. Does this mean that Game Pass is going to have to fight to get games on their service?
No, I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
I think it's like they get a certain percentage of how many like subscribers like play their games, and they tally it up like what YouTube does with their ads. You know, like a certain amount of views, we get like a penny. I think that's how Xbox doing it with their games, because you can play Mortal Kombat 10, and I don't know how to buy the damn game.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat, I think, isn't XL on, I think Mortal Kombat XL is on Game Pass.
I only saw 10.
So is it only 10? I thought I saw XL.
Is it a newer Mortal Kombat or just 10?
I thought I saw XL.
Oh, I didn't see XL. I owned it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Lance, it's XL.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's still 10.
Yeah, XL means it's, 10 with all the content. Extra content, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and it's basically, more games are coming on the PC. I just want to see a list of it when it's coming and everything else. But we won't know until they pull it out. I know certain games going to be coming out. I just want to play Age of Empire 2 on the PC.
And then, are you excited about the re-release of Age of Empires?
Yeah, I am. I can't wait to play it on multiplayer.
Is the new Age of Empires, and I haven't read a ton about it, but is it...
It's the same as 2, but better graphics, I bet.
So it's like a remaster of 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That was my question.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's basically 2 with all the DLCs that came with 2. But
they did remaster it with higher resolution, stuff like that.
Because I think let's say everyone pays $15, right? 100 people pay $15, and about 60 of them play like Mortal Kombat 10 XL. They may get like 60 cents or $60 out of that month. Out of that, because 15 times 100 is 1,500. So they may get $60 for that month from that 100 players. So I think that's how they're going to do it. I think that's how they can make money. Basically they're putting games in so that they can use their service. It's like YouTubers, but instead it's companies using their games to put out so people can go and have fun and play it, and they get a certain amount of pennies or dollars, how many people playing it so far, and they get that money towards to them, and Xbox will get a cut. Xbox will get a cut from it as well. I think that's how they're going to do it. It's kind of complicated, me trying explaining it, but I think that's how they're going to do it.
Right.
Because I don't see myself playing 100% of everything that's on Xbox Game Pass or on the PC. Only play only done like very certain numbers of it, and that's it.
So what is coming out? And I do have the Game Pass for the PC, but I didn't really look at what the release list is going to be.
Let me see if we can go look it up. Xbox game, pass PC release games. Let's see here. What do we get? That's already came in. Which game? Pass PC game list. Windows Central. Let's see here. That's a crap load of games. And is Banner Saga any good?
I'm sorry, which game?
Banner Saga 1, 2, and 3.
I haven't played them.
Yeah, you can get it's coming on the PC. Let's see, we got Abzu. Some of these already came out. I'm trying to find out the one that has not came out so far. Book of Demons, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Cluster Truck, Die for Valhalla. There's a game for you, Disney Adventure. Football Manager 2019, Fez. Let's see, all the Gears of War is out so far. Well, we get also Halo Master Chief Collections coming on the PC as well,
which is really cool. I mean, I have it on Xbox
yeah,
One X.
all the Halo games so far is like Spartan Assault, Spartan Strike, Halo War 1 and 2. I forget some Halo Breach is on there now. Metro Exodus is on there,
which is a great game, by the way.
I haven't tried it yet. Let's see. I don't think all of them is not in there yet. I think Wolfenstein 2 Youngblood's going to be on there too, right? Later on.
Is it? That would be awesome.
Yeah, I believe
I thought that was going to Stadia.
Yeah, so you still got to buy the damn game in Stadia.
Yeah, true. So that means you don't get it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, not everything is on. These are the games that's already on it that I'm looking at. But I can't find out. Okay, here we go. Age of Empire Definitive Edition, that's 1. Age of Empire 2 Definitive Edition. Age of Empire 3 Definitive Edition. The new Battletoads, Bleeding Edge, Gears 5, Gears Tactics. It looks like a very poor version of XCOM, the Gears Tactics gameplay.
Oh, is that saying Wasteland 3 is going to be on it?
Yeah, Wasteland 3.
If you haven't played it and you like tactical games, Wasteland 2 is a hell of a game.
Yeah, it's on the Game Pass with the PC and the Xbox.
It was done by In Exile.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is a hell of a game. Give it a try if you want to.
Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Minecraft Dungeons. I don't have to buy the damn thing now. I just play it on Xbox on the PC. Minecraft Dungeons when it comes out. That's next year.
Cool.
Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't really care about it. Halo Infinite, Halo the Master Chief Collection. Those are the ones that is coming in. There's also 25 partner publishers and developers lining up so far. That has not confirmed which games can be released.
Well, Microsoft is definitely making the move. It looks like they're making the moves that they need to make this thing hugely impactful. I am happy about it because I think that the price is great. That you get this, you get Xbox One, you get PS, and you get games with gold.
Isn't all the games that are on the PC also on the Xbox?
Not all of them. That hasn't transferred over yet. All of them.
Most of them. There are a lot more games on the Xbox One version of it just because it's been out for a while. I think currently there's about 250 games on that service. The PC will get there, and they're going to keep adding games. I just think I think we're all in agreement. It's just the better deal. And I'm sure that Microsoft's streaming service will be integrated into Game Pass. In a sense, they've already begun their streaming service with a bang, with Game Pass. And when they integrate them together, however that's going to work, that's going to be incredible. I mean, when we get to the fall, you're going to be able to stream your Xbox One X and any of the games that are on it to any device, anywhere, including a smart TV.
The xCloud?
Yeah, I think it's using xCloud, but I think the streaming service is called Arc.
I'm not going to do it. I don't know.
Our Xbox is already hooked into the TV. That's good enough.
And I have a PC, I have a computer too.
The best part of it is it's free.
Yeah,
Microsoft is not going to charge for it.
Yeah, that's fine, but we're just gonna do it on the TV or my computer. That's it. So it should be fine.
But you know what? It's there, and I think it's a good technological leap.
Well, you also got to think about it too. It's someone that can afford all of these fancy devices, like a nice tablet and stuff like that. Able has with battery packs all over to carry it around and play with it.
It's called the Azure. The streaming from the company's Azure data center. Okay, I figured out what the name of Azure is. So it is over the xCloud, and the massive cluster of supercomputers that's going to make this happen is called the Azure data center.
Is Orion going to be part of that Azure? Like with this, that was announcing for no apparent reason why instead Orion.
Well, Orion is something that the game manufacturer itself has to implement. It's not something that the streaming service implements. So if I have a game that I want to go on Google Stadia, let's say I actually go out and I make Super RPG Mega 2, just making up a game name, and I want to make sure that it's streamlined and works really well over a streaming service. I can take the Orion software and I integrate that into the engine of my game, and that software supposedly, remember, I don't know the exact specifics of how Orion works, but it's going to become part of the engine of my game and a streaming service. How it does that, Bethesda hasn't really told us yet.
Well, we'll find out later. It's not really a big deal. I'm not really going to stream any of my games. Actually, I'm streaming it through YouTube, but other than that, I'm not really streaming other companies' services all through the internet and stuff like that. I just don't have that enough bandwidth to do it, and not enough upload speed to do what I need to do. So, anything else? Anyone else wants to add in?
Hey, they released the Lego expansion for Forza 4. But it costs $20.
How about Game Pass?
So Forza's on Game Pass, but only the standard edition.
Not the DLC?
But not the DLC. Although it doesn't matter. I own Forza 4, so, but I can't get the Lego expansion without actually paying I think for Game Pass users, it's a whole 20% off, I think. I don't know. I think it's like $18 for Game Pass users.
Go get it if you want to. I'm not going to get it.
You don't play racing games, aren't your thing? So I don't think that's
I stopped at the PS2 of Need for Speed, and that was it for my racing game.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Racing games are not kind of the thing that you play, so that's something that would interest you. But I was just saying that it's out there and it looks kind of cool. I mean, we all know I don't have the $20 to buy it, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got that. You got that kidney. You don't need to live with a whole liver. I bet there's some people that want a part of your liver for a huge chunk of change.
Very bad jokes. Very bad jokes.
He's on too many medication for them to accept.
Very bad jokes.
I see some weird shit on Craigslist.
You know how sick I am. I don't think anyone would want those body parts from me.
No, he's on too much medication. They won't accept it.
My liver's like foie gras, all fatty.
I don't know if my liver's fatty because I stopped drinking about
No,
5 years ago.
you can still get a lot of fat in the liver, not just by alcohol, by eating a lot of carbs, your excess amount of carbs.
Well, that's
How you think we get foie gras from ducks and geese? We force feed it corn and wheat.
And you fatten up that liver and then cook it up?
Yep.
I don't know much about Asian cuisine.
That's not Asian. That is a French cuisine.
Oh, that's French cuisine. Oh, that makes sense. I know that the French eat a lot of ducks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as foie gras is a delicacy.
Never ate French food.
Yes, you have.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you have. And it's not French fry. That's from Germany.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anything anyone wants to add before we end the stream?
Nintendo, don't delay Pokemon just because you have a lot of angry people that they can't get 1,122 Pokemon. Just add them in over time.
Yeah.
Release the game, add them in over time. From what I hear, you've got a ton of Pokemon already in it. Just go with it. Your game is going to sell like hotcakes. I wouldn't even worry about it. There are so many Pokemon fans and so many Pokemon fanatics that are going to eat that game alive.
Yeah, Nintendo.
What they're going to do is they're going to put the new Pokemon in it, and they're going to put the Pokemon that are most popular in it.
Most likely. But don't you agree that people are going to eat that game up? That game is going to sell like gangbusters, even without the old Pokemon. People are so itching for a new Pokemon. As long as the game engine is finished, that thing's going to sell like crazy.
Remember when Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee controversies, and that shipped millions and millions of copies.
So I say, don't worry about it, Nintendo. Release the game, give the fans a new Pokemon game, and add on to it later.
Yeah, it's fine. Nintendo's gonna release on that day. They don't really care. As long as they get money, they don't care.
It's November 15th, right?
Yeah. We'll get it. I'll stream it.
I got Shield and you're getting Sword.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming to the podcast and listening to my civics discussion earlier that Lance apparently didn't like. But regardless, I hope that you got some gaming news out of tonight's podcast. Pick up Pokemon. Check out Bloodstained Ritual of the Night if you love Castlevania type games. And definitely check out the Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate price. I think it's a great deal. And that's all from me. Lance, what are your closing comments?
Last Minecraft only on the weekends. So this is the last day of the weekend until next weekend. Minecraft at night.
Oh, and for those of you that don't know, me and Lance streamed last night and read a few of the ridiculous troll comments about people being angry that he's not streaming Minecraft every day, which is quite silly. And I'm sure
being angry about me playing horror games too.
Oh yes, and angry about Fatal Frame being played on the Ashley and Lancelot channel, which was also pretty silly. Go check out us talking about those comments, and I bet you we're going to still get more as time goes on.
Yep, probably will. Probably want to hear it on Monday, and I'll tell them to go screw themselves. Usually, I always do. Well, yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, and share. Also, check out Dark Titan Enterprise. Subscribe to them. They do a lot of game news commentary and comments and opinion based as well. They're very good. They did a very good One Piece for Tifa. How they're doing it and opinion based about that as well. I personally want bigger tits, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. Anyhow, guys, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you guys later on tonight. Bye.